Alright guys, welcome back. So we're taking a look at SoundHound today. So this stock has been in a snoozy IV crush mode ever since I talked about this one last time. We talked about this one in March, and that video was, will it stay in between the 6 and 14 and pretty much chop around, kill premium? What does IV crush? A lot of people still don't understand. In very short, I'll show you here before we go further. You guys remember this rally Christmas rally, and then after we had this pretty much dump, and after Nvidia disclosing that they dumped their shares back in February 14th, somewhere right around here, this stock still had a high elevated implied volatility. This graph right here at the bottom, this is not the chart of the stock. This is implied volatility, IV. Okay, so if you take a look at these dollar values right here on this column right here, you can see at the top implied volatility, it was $3. Other people call it average true range, so it's pretty much technically the same thing, identical thing. Average true range. So it had average true range over $3. All of a sudden, when this stock was trading with average true range, meaning every single day it was moving with, let's say, 30-40 cents back in the September, October, November, and then when stock rallied crazy, IV got jacked up, and you can see now this is what I call IV crush. Even in March, the stock had a $1.50 average true range. Now it has crushed significantly more. So I will show you on its own chart. And before we again talk about further what's going on with this name, no, it hasn't filled Nvidia gap, but I like to show OPEX to OPEX monthly candles all the time. At least once in some of the videos I try to mention, and this is the reason why I watch these, because it's very, very important if you trade options to look at it that way. Because if you just take a look at normal like months to months, it might be a little bit misleading. But if you take a look at this chart, SoundHound chart for the last 5 months, is the reason why I was pretty much, a lot of times people ask in the Discord saying that, yo, you were talking about this one when the stock was moving up and down and you kind of like disappeared. Well, this is what I mean. When IV crush mode happens, it can stay in the same range for a while before it breaks. You can see I have my alerts, and anytime those alerts hit, I'll just take a look and see if there's a momentum or not. You guys can see like this is OPEX to OPEX candle. So each candle here represents 1 month, but from the third Friday of the month till the next third Friday of the month. So hasn't done anything, essentially moving sideways. And on a daily chart, it's gonna look a little bit different. Let's take a look. So now this is the gap that I'm watching. But before that, after this Nvidia news, you guys remember, high was 1179. Ever since it did attempt to test this level, it hasn't gone above and filled that gap. As high as it has gone, it was somewhere around here in May 14th. It went to 1266, but it just closed below that 1179 and never closed above this level since November. It's actually February of that pretty much announcement. After that, they had an earnings negative report again, and then they had another earnings negative. They're still burning cash, and this stock at this price of $11, it is $4 billion company. Okay, so just for the record. So now here's what I'm watching. Yes, 200-day, 50-day, all the moving averages now I'm showing you right here are sort of in an uptrend, right? So some sort of an uptrend you have in the last, let's say, 2 months. But it's not making higher highs. It's making higher lows, sure, But as soon as you zoom out a little bit more, yeah, it's in a sideways move still until it clears this level, give or take 12, and closes below 12. Next potential for the stock is $15.50. Can it move before they report earnings somewhere around here in August? Possible. There are a lot of small cap stocks moving in anticipation of a rate cut, possible rate cut. And this stock a little bit lagging in terms of IWM. I'm not sure, like one-to-one, how is it looking in terms of, yeah, it's definitely down year to date. IWM just turned positive year to date. So even index, it's lagging index, maybe partially because it was already rallying into the year end, and it's just closed the year last year at $20 level. So watching this as a resistance, support, well, these levels, your support somewhere around 10, 9. And here's another thing I want to show. In terms of flows, it's not like significant flows coming in, but there were some flows. People were buying $7 call, short dated, and then some people were buying $21 call, $11 call with 21 days to expire in June, a couple days ago actually. So these orders were interesting, $11 calls, but it's not a lot of premium, probably like around like $200,000 or so. So there's one standing out right there, $30,000, but this is not crazy. Again, in terms of dollar value, $13 call for July 18th. So this is regarding the flows. Regarding big orders, well, there's some orders, and I'm not sure if these, there's nothing crazy except for one order that is standing out to me. Number 9, it's like $100 and something million came in. Or is it less? It's actually 37 million. If I zoom out, I'll show you guys how it was looking back when everybody dumped the stock, like largest orders, cluster of orders. This is where everybody dumped, and a lot of people were super bulled up right there. And then as it started pulling back, people started averaging down, and then Nvidia news, and boom. And ever since, it just hasn't recovered that level. So it has been 4 or 5 months for this stock to, digest all that headline. So I want to see some sort of a positive catalyst for this name to catch some momentum. But again, there's a lot of people trapped at these levels, which will cause significant resistance. That's why even if it breaks 12, well, you have a big resistance at these levels. You can see where the big orders came in. So 15 area, 16 area. So these are the areas I would be watching as a possible resistance areas, and at the same time, like gap fill area, that gap needs to get filled. So what else I wanted to share? Okay, so in terms of premiums, you can look at it that way as well. In the last like 5-7 days, yeah, a little bit of a premium buying when it started pushing June 30th, and then July 2nd, a little bit of a buying. But again, this week was short week, so 4th of July week. So let's see what happens next week when we return to full schedule, essentially what happens with the overall volume, and if more people will start buying calls. But so far, not too much of an attractive stock for me personally, because I want to see the flows, I want to see big orders coming in, and yes, this is highly shorted. This is another thing. But it's just the valuation is a bit 4.4 billion apparently. It's a bit too much, but 34% of the float is short. So if you want this name to squeeze, you essentially want that $12 to clear, and 100% you would know that there are a lot of people trapped, especially if it's been trading in that range for 4 or 5 months. Is now there are a lot of people could be short on those levels, and they would start getting squeezed. In terms of shares to borrow, is it easy to borrow? Yeah, there's shares available to borrow, to short, and people been shorting it crazy because it's decently liquid stock. So yeah, if you wanted to squeeze, there's a possibility. There's a lot of shorting going on, and also as soon as the shares become hard to borrow and like it becomes low, just like Big Bear, because these two names moved in sympathy one with one another, but usually this got a bit detached from Big Bear as an AI name. And yeah, let's see if it's gonna catch a bid next week, especially if it breaks this 1180. Essentially, I'm watching 1180, $12 levels. So that's my update for SoundHound stock. That's what I'm watching. Again, I'm not trading the stock. I don't own any shares. I don't own any options in this company. So this is just purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a buy or sell recommendation. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next update.